though and though are definitely overused words in your vocabulary and you try a bit too hard to fix it. There was a time as a teenager that I tried to do that with like, because like is used all the time. And yeah, it's one of those things where, sure, reducing your excessive use of a word makes a certain amount of sense. Especially, you know, if you're just experimenting and you want to maybe try to mix up your lexicon a little bit. But when it is taken to the extreme and suddenly I'm like trying to use basic analogies, I'm like, oh, I can't use like though. We're probably taking it a bit too far and we should just walk that back a bit. Just walk it back. We're okay. Let's just focus on being able to communicate as human beings first and foremost. And that sounds pretty good to me. Can I use the beast talisman now? Pretty dang close. Or wait, no, I don't have the beast one. But we could start using Maw or Serpent if we really wanted. Gets us a bit of additional HP, some additional AC as well, so it's not bad, especially for the unarmed side. Would prevent us from throwing, I guess not so much on Maw. And I don't care that much about my body armor. Maw might be okay for us. I'm mainly saving up though for stone form. Don't have gloves, boots, body armor will be trash for most of this. Does not suck up weapons, so I can still use both my fists and throwing weapons. So that seems to be my goal here, and slowly but surely getting there for sure. Happy with that. I probably should have at least thought about picking up some of those teleportation scrolls now that I think twice. Fortunately, the centaurs were hanging out just in range of not bugging. I'm trying to say bugging and bothering at the same time. As always, just doesn't really work out for anyone involved. But without bothering Roxanne again is what I was aiming for. And yeah, this is why large rocks are the only real throwing build that I feel is feasible, because there's just an infinite number of them in the dungeon here, especially even in Abyss you can find Cyclops and Stone Giants, and so you end up with a nice solid supply even if you are using them pretty prolifically throughout the run. So it's pretty sweet. Manifold Assault Katana, shame you can't use it effectively. I love the ADOM Katana. I feel like that's a weapon that, regardless of its efficacy in the runs themselves, it actually boils down to, I believe it was the Merfolk run from Great Player Series when I first started streaming the game. We used the ADOM Katana and it carried the run, and it was super fun to use and very stylish too. I liked the flow of that character, the feel of them. And so I feel like just because of that alone, it has such a soft spot in my heart, and I'm always kind of happy when I see the ADOM Katana show up. Even if I can't use it, it works out. Okay, thanks, Zom. Appreciate it. It's hard just to walk places when Zom's just slamming doors all across the dungeon for whatever reason. Oh, let's try that again. Shoals entrance, please and thank you. Okie dokie, how are we doing for time? We're pretty much at the end of our evening here. Could maybe dip into Shoals. Let me just check. Send a message here to check. You kids. There we go. And then yeah, I think we'll maybe try out at least one floor of Shoals. See how it goes. See if we start regretting everything that has brought us to this point. The main issue I have with Shoals is actually the fact that we have to be cognizant and cautious of losing rocks to pits of water. Besides that, it's a nice source of throwable equipment, so very, very happy with that. We'll hopefully be able to take full advantage. Imp, make sure you stay out of my way, please and thank you. There we go, that's pretty much what I expected from you, my friend. And Oh, you repel missiles. That all makes a lot of sense again. Well, let's go back to auto explore. Fantastic. And okay, I thought I already got a reply to my phone message here, but it was just it dying. All my technology is dying apparently. If there's one thing we've learned from today's stream, it's that I cannot keep batteries alive to save my life. Fantastic. What is the damage on my large rocks right now? Will it tell me? 68 is my damage rating. So it's already hitting harder than like a triple crossbow. Love that. For min delay, we still have a long way to go. In fact, do you tell me my current attack delay? No, I just have to watch it happen. 1.2, not too shabby. Ooh. Ice Dragon skills as well to bounce everything out, or not, never mind. Was not meant to be, apparently. Do I wish to start worrying about things here? I definitely would hate to die now of all times. We're finally getting close to this character, figuring out their lot in life and what we want to do. Each powerful indeed, no kidding. Again, a little slow, and you do have to keep that in mind, especially when you first start using them. They'll often still be at the like 2 turns per throw attack delay, which is obviously not great, but as soon as you have a bit of training, things are definitely pretty swell. It's the throwing equivalent, or the closest throwing gets. Oh, son of a gun, I threw into deep water. For anyone who's wondering, by the way, it's been a while since we mentioned this. If you're throwing something or shooting something, I guess less so shooting now that ammo doesn't exist, but you want to use the period key to throw at that spot in the ground, and that way you do not risk whatsoever losing it to the abyss. Okie dokie, not too shabby here. No water behind you, so we will just throw to our heart's content. Pick up the Ice Dragon skills. Fantastic. And can't exactly complain about that. Just about through Shoals 1. A little bit of desperation, you know, from time to time here so far. Maybe not the most ideal of starts, but still alive, so still sitting pretty and very, very much happy with that. And, okay, we've used up some of our large rocks already here, so I'm just trying to keep an eye on that and doing some quick little mental calculations to make sure that we're not going to use up all of our resources quicker than we potentially expect to. Shapeshifting is just about at 12. Need it all the way at 16. Still a ways off. I mean, we would have 22 bonus armor class. HP would go down to 77. Is that even a problem? I'm kind of curious. 0.7 attack delay, 39. If I evoke you, my friend, 56, attack delay 1.1, so we're definitely a lot slower in the attacking department. 28 AC is nice, though. Go down to 121 health. Honestly, it's probably actually worth it. But we won't worry about that too much now. I guess I also have to take into account that we lose the armor class of our body armor, so that's why it did actually go, not quite go up a full 22 up to 33. Interesting. Something to keep an eye on, though, as that continues to progress here and we get closer and closer to this being feasible. Hail sweet. I don't have any cold resistance, so I'm not super stoked with the idea of fighting you. Kind of hoping that the first merfolk was just going to dodge the rocks and we'd get a few free hits on Ilsui here, but unfortunately not the case. I'm mesmerized. So you're probably pretty happy about this, right? Want to give me some of the goods here? Give me some juice? I'm gonna haste. I probably should have just tried to walk away. In fact, I probably should have still, even after this mesmerization, tried to just read a teleport scroll, head to another part of the level. We'd all be happy, and oh, how we'd laugh about it. Instead, we're gonna stick to this, potentially to our own detriment, and I'm gonna continue to throw rocks at an invisible merfolk in the desperate hope that some of these are hitting. No? Are none of these? What are you feeding these merfolk? How many rocks? 2 rocks have hit altogether. Probably should use the See Invisible Ring, especially since I don't need the fire resistance. That's a great point. Yeah, 48% chance when I can hit you. It was probably absurdly low, now that I think about it. Let's maybe not think about it too much. The irresponsible part of me noticed as I opened my potions menu that I had berserk potions and thought very seriously about just going berserk and seeing what happened, but let's play it safe and be smart about this, shall we? Jeez Louise. Okay. Ill sweep. Well, now you're much easier to hit. Almost feel bad for you, except not really, because you still might kick my butt. This is a good little teaser, a tester, an appetizer, perchance, for how things may end up looking in Spider. How much damage do you do? 40 with the bite? I'm, again, unreasonably tempted to let the dice fall where they may, but let's not. Let's instead back up. Back up and back off. And if I could just get one good hit, fantastic. Holy moly. Well, that was way more of a trial than it had any right to be. Should definitely just play consistently and kill things instead of getting fancy with it and trying to fight uniques that we're honestly probably just better off walking away from that encounter. But again, kind of shows that Zom kind of sick with it if you just get lucky. It's that easy. Just get lucky, folks. Potion of Might, I'll definitely take. Do you know what? Enchant Weapon, I do not foresee a need for those in our future. Let's leave those by the wayside. Got all the weapons I need right here. Points to claws. Fantastic. Wand of Ice Blast, on the other hand, I definitely would like that, especially as we start to get prepared for our endeavor into Spider. And perfect. Let's just take care of all the Barbara buddies here. Fantastic. And it should just about get us into floor completion territory. Maybe not quite yet. Let's back away from our ranged friends. Oh geez. Already another tough spot, but at the end of the day, this is definitely where we start to see trolls fall off generally in any run. So hopefully, if we can just squeak by long enough, then we'll have statue form and life will be beautiful again. Down to 22 health. I don't have any heal wounds, do I? Son of a gun. I have curing, but that is not quite what I'm looking for here. Oops, let's try that again. I will indeed Ice Blast my butterfly friends. I'm sorry to say, but they don't really fall too much into my my purview here, if we're being completely honest. But we'll throw a couple of rocks and just barely squeak on by. As soon as we have a clear shot. Perfect. Now we have 42 health. Oh gosh, where do we land? Not in a bad spot, is all I'll say. So let's head upstairs, and that went perfectly according to plan. Not too shabby here. Jeez Louise. Oh, I forgot what it felt like to follow you, Zom. I do love it. It's always a lot of fun. I feel like the last successful Zom run I had was one of the tournaments that I participated in shortly after just starting to stream the game. And I believe we only won 2 runs the entire tournament, and out of the like 4 that we played, and one of them was an Octopode of Zom. Just kind of worked. I think it was a suggestion from the audience, or we did pure random. And some way, somehow, that character was able to make it. So just have to have some faith here. Ooh, this is a cute little forest. Terrifying in its own right, but fortunately came with this handy little doorway that we will definitely use and abuse to our heart's content, and just make things a little bit tougher for our hooved friends here. Fantastic. And that should be just about it. How many more of you are in here? It's a clown car of a forest, apparently. Yeah, jeez Louise. That's even more stuff than we saw in the previous example of all the orcs that we killed in the regular dungeon. Fascinating. Well, yeah, ranger duel that. Just immediately delete a satyr with one throw. Love to see it. In fact, you know what? There's no deep water behind these sons of guns, so we can be a little quicker with our throwing capabilities. It's always kind of tempting to just lock in a new like macro key to always throw consumables at the feet of our enemies, but I feel like in general we kind of like throwing through them if it misses, because it gives us some opportunity to hit the enemies behind them when we do inevitably miss at some points along the way. But okay, we have a big drain, which is not great. Shapeshifting is up to 14. So that leaves us at positive health. So, is this my life now? Attack delay is a little slow for sure. Movement speed will also be slow. Throwing speed? Also slow. Ooh, I don't like that. Oof, oof, oof. Not grand. Does put us in a very nice spot defensively, though. Well, that'll be a mystery. It will have to unravel, but maybe we'll leave that as a little bit of a cliffhanger for the future here. Because I think this is where we're going to end for the evening. Decent chunk through shoals, but still have a bit too much to go for me to be able to justify it. And see already a little bit of that semantic satiation, and that's with the word "to," which very appropriately is used multiple times in sentences all the time. And I know this, and I tell my brain this. But when it's in the moment, it's such a like nails on chalkboard feeling. Anyway, enough about my own issues when it comes to mental processing of day-to-day life here. And yeah, I think this is where we'll call it. Pretty solid day overall. Of course, very, very disappointed. Or not disappointed. I'm not angry, I'm disappointed. But this is like the opposite of that, where we're instead cashing it in a good way, because we're not really disappointed. It's too bad, I guess, that we did lose our Brocky Archer, because that was a really fun character as well. Had a lot of fun with that at the start of the stream here, but now them being taken down and moving on to Raw Control, also having a really good time, and excited to give large rocks their day in court. We're gonna prove once and for all why large rocks are the true winners of DCSS here. Wizards, you don't like statue form overly much unless you really need the AC. It's 50% slow that stacks to normal slow is pretty bad for you. Yeah, the slow, I mean, even when it was a transmutation spell, that was always a huge consideration. But I think the one caveat there, the one saving grace, is that this is a temporary measure. We need armor class just until I can find, kill, and retrieve the skin of a golden dragon. And then that'll probably be what we switch into for the rest of the run. So, we'll see how long we have to make do, as it were. And hopefully we can swap into something a little more survivable in the near future, but that'll have to wait for next week when we jump back into continue raw control. Excuse me, apologies. When we continue raw control and see how things go and how we fare. Of course, we'll do a quick check to see who's online now. And we can send it right off to finish off our evening. So take a quick look at that here. Quick mean a relative term, of course. Alright, well, I think that we will head over to Brent, as often is the case, just because always love that person and that goat friend. My brain is completely stalling out now. If that is not abundantly obvious, maybe I picked the perfect time to end this stream. It was right as I lost all functionality in my neurons. So hell yeah, we finally made a good decision. Not you since the kids are up late. Fair enough. Hey Chadley though, hope you're doing well overall here. Yeah, good night to you as well, Cowboy Jim. Well, I guess instead of just talking about it, I should actually get that slated and queued up here as we do our final little spiel. Because, yeah, overall, super fun run. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed playing it here. Loved some of our discussions today as well. And yeah, that's always good stuff. Less sick, that's always good news for sure. No, you as well. Have a good night, Chadley. Yeah, huge amount of appreciation for all you lovely folks, you know, chatting alongside us and all those lovely conversations today, lurking in the background, a viewer after my own heart, as it were, or if you're watching this down the road through the VODs, either on Twitch or YouTube. And thank you so much for joining us on the journey. Hope you're having a good time in life in general, as well as just watching me clumsily trip my way into the occasional victory, you know, fingers crossed and all that good stuff. But yeah, we'll call it here for the evening, and regardless of all that, I guess, I do hope you're having a great morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you out there, and I definitely hope to see you soon next week when we jump back in with our throwing. Just remember, folks, that we never, even for a moment, despite our proclivity for getting our skulls caved in by large rocks, never didn't have it. I'll see you soon.